As you might have already seen on my channel, I have done 2 comic dub videos on the series Caf Crawling, which have blown up recently. So first and foremost, thank you guys so much for the support on those videos. Special thanks to the voice actors who contributed to the video, Almond, SpeedyGRT. Thank you guys all so much for contributing and helping. Links to them will be in the description below, along with the 2 videos as well. Anyway, when I was reading the comment section of the video, I saw that the views towards Commander Fox are quite split, which is understandable if you've been a Clone Wars fan for as long as I have. On the one hand, people really despise Fox for obvious reasons, and on the other hand, objection! So this project is really just a way for me to explore Fox as a character, as he doesn't really feature greatly throughout the Clone Wars franchise. I've skimmed through so much clone fandoms, Clone Wars episodes, analyzing dialogue and actions. Hell, I've even read through fanfictions to get some ideas. That's not exactly something I'm proud of, but it's you gotta do what you gotta do. So, Clone Troop Officer CC-1010, known as Fox, was a clone commander for the Coruscant Guard, an elite division of troops who acted primarily as security services for important figures such as Chancellor Palpatine and other members of the Senate. Besides being security details, the Coruscant Guard were also employed in a variety of roles: prison guards, beat cops, patrol officers, the list goes on. However, upon the request of Palpatine, they also act as a secret police of sorts, like a Gestapo of Star Wars if you will. Fox himself is the commander of these elite troops, hence holding immense power and responsibility towards safeguarding Chancellor Palpatine and other members of the Senate. Regardless, he is generally quite cold, being generally quite structured and methodical in his thinking, but can also be rather narrow-minded. The most clear example of this is when he assumes Ahsoka Tano killed the clones, because Jedi cuts on soldiers equals Jedi in prison that tried to escape. So throughout the Clone Wars, we see Fox undertake various other duties, including rescuing Senator Amidala from Zero the Hutt, guarding the power plants, sort of.
Whoa, wait a minute. Power generators are that way. Stupid droid.
And undertaking the elimination of fives, which is going to be a main talking point which I'll get to later on in the video. It'd be quite a throwaway comment to say that Fox is simply hated for the killing of fives. While that is a massive talking point and one we will discuss in further detail, I think it is unfair to purely analyze his character based off of that singular scene. In the show overall, it is very difficult to like Fox, as he is often portrayed as a no-nonsense, stiff, and somewhat arrogant clone who just makes life difficult for all involved. Especially Anakin, who I'm really surprised didn't snap his neck as soon as he did.
Fucking try any of that shit, because I've been here before. I'm a professional. This is what I do.
He is a cold attitude to practically everyone he encounters, as it's not really his job or capacity to be the social trooper. Rather, he's the head of one of the most important security organizations in the galaxy. Additionally, he doesn't have that relationship Rex and Anakin have, or Cody and Obi-Wan. Fox never really had an influence outside of the Coruscant Guard and to an extent Palpatine, thus you can kind of understand why he is the way he is. That is not to say he isn't an exceptional soldier though, as he's a great leader and possesses the unique quality of being able to think independently. This is seen in events such as when Cad Bane threatens the lives of hostages within the Senate building. Fox, contemplating, eventually tells his men to stand down on his own accord, letting the bounty hunters pass. This idea of Fox being independent leads us on to the main topic of discussion, Fives' death. For the non-Clone Wars fans, or people who just enjoy trash way too much, Fives was a clone ARC trooper of the 501st Legion, who served alongside Rex and Anakin. However, he would witness Tup, a fellow clone, kill Master Jedi Tiplar. Tup would ultimately die, and Fives would try to convince the Senate about a chip he found in Tup's brain. Fives would be framed by Palpatine as an assassin, becoming a fugitive on the run in Coruscant. Anakin and Rex would ultimately meet Fives. However, just as Fives was about to explain, Commander Fox and a squad of Coruscant Guard burst in, weapons drawn. Despite warnings from Fox, Fives drew for a blaster, to which Fox fired a single shot into Fives, ending the ARC trooper's life. Now, the main issue people have with the situation is the use of lethal force by Fox. A lot of people argue that Fox could have used a stun mode to neutralize Fives instead of using lethal force, Hence, Fox comes into the spotlight of blame for Fives' death. This is a difficult point to argue, as first of all, Fox did give Fives a fair warning. And secondly, I don't think it was Fox's choice. Remember, Palpatine sent Fox directly to carry out these orders, so if Fox disobeyed, it would have meant certain punishment. While we did know earlier that Fox is an independent thinker, like all the other clone commanders, he does lack that freedom of social thinking. Putting it simply, Fox has not existed beyond a thought system of resisting rules, or cutting corners like Rex has, and this is due to influence from characters such as Anakin.
Captain Rex, I need to speak with General Skywalker. He's not responding to my calls.
Sir, General Skywalker is unavailable.
Where is he, Captain?
I can't say, sir.
You can't, or you won't.
Hence, it is more difficult for Fox to resist orders directly from Palpatine. And it's also why Rex didn't blindly follow orders from General Pong Krell, showing resistance that stems from Anakin's influence. Another interesting thing to consider is the idea that Fox's inhibitor chip was activated by Palpatine to ensure Fives' assassination. Before I continue, I just want to mention that Screen Rant did a really good article that I've sourced in this video that covers things such as Fives' death and the relation to that with Fox's inhibitor chip being activated. Link will be in the description. The inhibitor chip was designed by the Kaminoans as a way to gain absolute loyalty and obedience from their clones, to carry out various orders requested by Palpatine. The chip was originally meant as a safeguard against rogue Jedi, despite the fact that Master Sifo Dyas, the one who started this clone thing, was also technically a rogue Jedi, but anyway. The main point to understand is that this inhibitor chip basically gave Palpatine absolute loyalty and obedience from the clones. The inhibitor chip also obeys a series of orders, one of these orders being Order 66, which we all know is the order to kill the Jedi, which is what Tup had and caused him to malfunction. However, the implication from this is that there are other orders besides 66 that Palpatine had at his disposal. It is likely that Palpatine activated Fox and the other Coruscant Guard's inhibitor chips to carry out the specific order to kill Fives. This theory is reinforced by the fanfiction Dominoes. Yeah, I know we're really scraping the barrel for sources here, but just stay with me. So, in this sort of fanfiction, which is like, I don't know, like Clone Wars on psychedelic drugs or something, but the main thing I'm focusing on is the specific passage. In this passage, Fox and other members of the Coruscant Guard claim they have no recollection of the events leading up to the assassination of Fives, including the assassination of Fives itself. This is an interesting point, because it could have meant that Palpatine wanted to ensure that Fives was killed by Fox, and because of the brotherly sentiment that could have impaired Fox, Palpatine chose to activate his inhibitor chip as well as his squad's inhibitor chips to ensure that Fives was killed. This claim from Fox actually aligns with accounts from Rex after his inhibitor chip was deactivated, in which he claims he had no control over his own actions during Order 66 when he tried to kill Ahsoka Tano.
Sorry for what happened earlier. I almost killed you.
Hence, it's not impossible to say that Palpatine activated the inhibitor chip, as it would have meant that Fox would have killed Fives without any complaint or question. Overall, while I think that Foxay is not certainly unjustified, as he did kill off a beloved character in the series, but at the same time I think people really neglect Fox's upbringing and background, as well as the idea that Palpatine was entirely pulling the strings for the Clone Wars, let alone this event. I think Disney has really done a disservice to Fox, as he was a pretty straightforward character who was unquestionably very good at what he did. It's just a shame that he was bled out to be a character that everyone hates for a singular event. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please let me know in the comment section below, because I really like making this kind of content that's slightly different to what we do on the channel, but it really helps me not only reinforce my understanding of the Clone Wars, but also helps us collectively sort of unravel events that we don't fully understand, but are interesting nonetheless. Anyway, thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Goodbye.